Hey guys, welcome back. Got some more line boring. So these are the holes in question here. Got a new pin. It's not crazy, but it's enough. It's enough that it needs to get done. And this is, about the point where the operator's like, hey, there's a lot of slop in there. We need to check it out. And this is a good spot to do this. Like, because if it keeps going, one of these will get ripped off or broken. And so this one's going to be a little bit tricky as far as, because it's small, how small the pin is. This is 1 5/8, and my smallest bar is 1 1/4. So gonna have to, it's gonna be a very close fit. I don't think I'm going to pre-cut this, and I don't think I'm gonna use a bore welder. I'm gonna weld it by hand and just lightly weld it as little as possible, welding it by hand to see if I can, get just enough material in there, cut it back out and make it tight. So I guess some people are going to say, well, why don't you cut it off and replace it and all that? Well, even if you do that, you still have to make sure that they're in line with each other, and that these two are in line, those two are in line with these two. It's still a lot of work. Still have to machine the holes to make them tight. It's still a significant amount of work. Not to mention, that's all one piece, and the majority of my customers like things as close to OEM as possible and as nice as possible. Although there is one thing on this machine on something else we're going to do that is not OEM, and I will explain that later in the video. So we're gonna get set up on this and figure out our welding situation here. As you can see, there is not a whole lot of extra room in there for weld. So we'll weld it by hand, and we'll just be really careful not to do a lot of buildup. And it's not the end of the world. I have welded up bores, and I went to go slide the bar in, and it didn't fit. It hit the weld. You literally just have to sit there with a die grinder and just try to hit all the high spots until the bar fits. So it's not the end of the world, but it's a lot easier when the bar just slides right in there, and then you can cut it. So now we'll get our bearings on there, and we will, actually I'm looking at this now. I think I'm gonna have to take this off. I might have to move these lines around so that I can that the bearing will fit right here. Because you can't just put bearings on the outside because it's way too long of a span. I need a bearing here and here. So 4 bearings total on this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to move these lines somehow. Okay, so we got our outside bearings tacked on. You don't really need a whole lot of weld. Probably gonna have to take the bar out to get these out. So I figured I'll just tack the outside ones on. I will true the bar up. With just the outside ones, because if you put the inside ones on, then you have to move 4 bearings around versus just one on this side, one on that side. Way easier, and it's extremely difficult to do it that way. You only make that mistake one time. So we're gonna get the bar out, get the lines out of the way. Hold on. We're gonna get the bar trued up to the holes, adjusting these, move that around. Then we're gonna take the bar out. Then we're gonna move the lines. Then we're gonna put the bar halfway in, slide the bearings on, slide it all the way through, tack new bearings, and hopefully knock this thing out pretty quick. All right, you got the lines out of the way. So now we'll get our small bar reducers into our other bearings, and then get those ready to go on there. All right, so after thinking about it, since I already have my center established with the outside bearings, I think I'm gonna weld these up by hand first before I put the inside bearings on, just because it'll give me a little better angle to get in there. So we'll weld those up, and then we'll put the inside bearings on. Just like that. So now I'm just gonna go around and do that to every single one. Well, all 4. And I've got a little 1.25 inch gauge here. So you can see it's barely doesn't kind of fit, which is perfect. So we'll just hit that with a die grinder, get those dingleberries off, and then the bar should slide through there. All right, we're just cutting away here. So you can see it's pretty close. Got a little bit of deflection, but that's fine for right now. It's kind of a just slow, boring process. Can't really take too large of a depth of cut with a 1.25 bar. But you can see the setup. So we'll just keep chugging away here. Okay, we got this side cut. You can see it's a little bit rough. It's a little bit undersized, so I'm gonna polish it out. I'm gonna polish it out to the final size. It's probably about 1 to 2 thousandths undersized. And then, so now I'm gonna put the drive unit right here, because the bar is just not long enough to feed that side with the drive unit on that side. Last cut on the last hole. And then you can see I polished this one up a little bit. All right, got the lines on. We got all the brackets cut off. We got the bores polished. So that's a little bit tighter than it was before. I don't have any case paint, and even if I did, it probably wouldn't match this super faded color. So I'm gonna just put some primer on here, and I'm gonna go try to get some paint that will match this as close as possible. And then after we do that, then I'll show you what we're gonna do next. All right, so the other part to this video is a couple of the cylinders and some of the other, I don't know the technical terms, some of the other parts for the front of the bucket are wore out. So the customer wants me to put bushings in there. Broke the last carbide tip, so we had to wait on this one. But basically that's gonna go in there. And then these other ones, which are cast iron, which is the reason the whole bushing idea came about. Those, press these bushings in there that the customer supplied. So he can press those in there, and that'll be it. And then the one other thing is this is all messed up, and can't put a solid bushing in there, or can't even do it that way because it takes a spherical bearing. Got one there, got one there. So we just machined a whole new eyelet out of 4140, and I wasn't here for this, otherwise I would have filmed it, but I'm showing you what's happening kind of on that whole project. So this will get cut off. I'll have to take all of our measurements, cut off. The ram will be extended all the way out. Cut it, prep it, preheat it, weld it out, something kind of like that. And that fits in there. Nice little tap it in with a hammer fit. So that's the other part to the video. I had someone else do all this because I had to go out of town, but I still wanted to wait just to kind of show you what was going on here. So that's what we're doing. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.